Hi, my name is Amanda DeGrace. I am the owner and founder of Little Lotus Yoga, and I wanted to share with you a little bit today about who I am and how Little Lotus all came about. I get often asked of, why did you start Little Lotus and how did it all happen? And, was it this big from the start? Did you know this is what you wanted? And, it all kind of grew over time. So I live in the Ottawa-Gatineau region. I'm out here in the country, but I chuckle, I'm still 10 minutes to the city. I grew up in a really small town in the country, and I remember growing up thinking, I just want to live in the big city, and I want to be able to walk places. I want to be able to go shopping, and I want to enjoy, the vibrant lifestyle. And so my husband and I, we lived that together for many years. And when we had our first child, we realized, you know what, we want a little bit more space. We want a little bit more privacy. And so we moved to a quieter area. We had two more children. So I had three babies in 4.5, 5 years. And we realized, you know what, we want even more privacy. We want even more space. And so we moved to the country. But what was important to us is that we were still really close to get to all the amenities that we needed. We didn't want to be traveling far all the time. And so, I'm kind of full circle and kind of back into the country. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the quiet and the peace and the serenity. I'm loving being able to drink coffee on my back deck and watch my kids run and explore and see different animals and all those fun, wonderful things. So, how did I get into yoga? I was a competitive figure skater for years, and then I fell in love with swimming. I became a lifeguard. I worked as a lifeguard in many different facilities within the town where I grew up. I grew up outside of Smiths Falls, so I was a lifeguard in Smiths Falls, in Perth, and then I moved to Ottawa for university, and I worked at many parks and recreation facilities within the Ottawa area. When I was in high school, I worked at a local gym in Smiths Falls, and I went to my first ever yoga class there with a friend of mine. And, I remember thinking, we're just going to go stretch. We're going to go, this was like at least 16 years ago. So it wasn't, yoga wasn't mainstream. There wasn't a place to go do yoga on every corner. So we thought, let's go stretch. Let's go see what it's all about. And it was too quiet for me. I remember getting into Shavasana and starting to giggle. And looking back now, it was because I was uncomfortable with the silence. I'd never taken time to quiet my mind and my body. And so, the emotions that came out was giggling of what's going on. What am I experiencing? But that class was with a wonderful teacher, and I really wish I could remember her name. It's escaping me right now. She lived in the Perth area, and funny enough, her kids, who were teenagers when I was younger, had actually taught me swimming lessons. So, small town, this is the way things work. Everything always comes back full circle of people But that one class kind of sparked my interest a little bit, but I didn't know it at the time. And so, I didn't go back to a lot of yoga classes after that. I moved to the city. I went to university. I was really busy, really active, and I needed something to help me relax, to help me just get back into my body, mind, body, and spirit. And so I started going back to yoga again, and I went to a couple different yoga studios. I found the place that really felt good to me. And at the time, that was Upward Dog Yoga Studio, which was in New Edinburgh. They're now at a different location, but I live close to New Edinburgh, and so that's where I would go to practice yoga. And it was amazing, and I loved it. And then at the time I was also working as a nanny, and so I thought, I want to take this yoga and what I'm loving about it, but I want to also take my love for children and to see if I can mold them together, and how that can happen. So I learned how to teach yoga to kids. I kind of filled my toolbox of resources that I needed to do that, and I started teaching yoga to children. From there, that's what piqued my interest to then go and take my 200-hour Yoga Alliance teaching certification. So I often get asked from people of, do I need to be a yoga teacher before I take your kids' yoga teacher trainings or your pre-postnatal teacher trainings? And the answer is no. I didn't do it that way either. I went with what I was comfortable with and what really resonated with me, which was the teaching kids yoga first, and then that really piqued and sparked my interest to go and dive into a full 200-hour teacher training. So I did my 200-hour teacher training about 10 years ago. I taught a lot of hatha, yin, power. I really love teaching women-specific classes. I really love the pre-postnatal, but I also really love kind of gentle classes where we can get back into our bodies and start to silence and calm the mind, because everything in society is always whirling around us, and we really need to take time to just get into our bodies and to allow that peace and silence to start to permeate from within. When I became pregnant with my first child, he's 7 now, so he just turned 7, so almost 8 years ago, that's when it really sparked my interest to learn more about pre-postnatal. And that's when I really started to grab all of the knowledge I could in order to expand my learning, but also to help support myself through my pregnancy journey. And then that then piqued and sparked my interest to help so many other women in our community as well. So Little Lotus Yoga started 14 years ago with one little kids yoga class. We were only teaching to preschoolers at the time. And, everyone thought I was crazy because I was taking classes of 2 to 5-year-olds on their own with no parents, and I loved it. It's, still to this day one of my favorite classes to teach. We now have a team of amazing teachers who teach for us. We offer teacher training programs across Canada. So if you're interested in having us come and offer a teacher training program in prenatal, postnatal, or kids yoga, I'd love to chat with you about coming into your studio. But, I now, as I said, I have 3 kids now. So my oldest is 7, my middle is 5, and my baby's 2. Not quite sure if that baby door is closed. It's not closed tight yet. So there may be more expansion in our family down the road. But, right now, Little Lotus Yoga is my other baby. And I love being able to have a flexible schedule. So, I can be with my kids still throughout the week. I don't have to rush them off daycare and go to an office job. I love the flexibility that my life has. And, I really want to help other women and families feel supported along their yoga and parenting journey. So that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about how I got into yoga, where that all started, what we're doing now. If you want to learn more about our yoga programs, you can visit our website if you're interested in classes, littlelotusyoga.ca. We also have a really fulfilled blog there that you can get information on pregnancy, on parenting, on how to incorporate yoga at home with your little ones, different healthy lifestyle tips. We have guests who come and guest blog on different topics. So you can find all of that on our littlelotusyoga.ca site. If you are interested in learning more about our teacher training programs, come and visit us at www.littlelotus.ca. teachertraining.com, and there you can find out about our certifications, what they consist of, what you will learn, our schedule, our full schedule of where we are currently offering teacher training programs. And there's also a great blog that rests on that website as well that will give you teaching tips. So whether you're a school teacher and you're looking for ways to incorporate yoga into your gym class or into your classroom, whether you're a yoga teacher and you want to start teaching these specialties, that'll help you out. If you're a parent who wants to teach some of these things to your kids, or you're currently pregnant or have a new baby, lots of tips over there. So that's on our Little Lotus teachertraining.com. If you have questions, please send us an email, info@littlelotusyoga.ca, and we are really looking forward to seeing you at a class or a training soon. Thank you.